Flex Factory is a student-run performance and creative incubator for Austin Community College's arts and digital media students. The show is a collaboration and co-production with ACC's Audio Technology and Industry and Radio, Television, and Film departments and is taped in front of a live audience at ACC's Highland Campus.
Everybody, well, welcome back to the Flex Factory. We got the 5th episode of this season's Flex Factory. Thank you all so much for being here. Thanks to all the parties, RTF, and the live sound departments for making this possible. Today, to open up the set, we got Maximilian X and his sound team presenting their video game, newly released Monarch Vertigo, and how sound design and music composition background can kind of helped Max in his passion for video games to create his very own with his own soundtrack and visuals. So I'll lead it up for you here. Can we get a big round of applause for Max?
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. I don't think we said his name, but this is Joel, also known as DJ Tungi. We got our other members of the team in the crowd right here. Let's go ahead and get started. So this is Monarch Vertigo. It's like what did you call it? Why don't you say it?
Yeah, I called it like a high interactive thriller, and it's basically like a point and click. You know, you go through images and you interact with a lot of interactables in that image, and that's how you progress to the story.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like how we came up with that was kind of crazy. You know, like taking pictures of real life. That's one of the images in the game right there. Yeah, that's at Pinballs, and it's like right around the corner from here. But you're like, oh man, that just looks so cool, you know. So let's go to so how I want to introduce this, you know, like kind of start off is since, you know, the game starts off with the opening, why not start this presentation off with the opening? So all these shots were shot by us as a team. Obviously, the music was also composed by me. You can really see him in the background on that. don't want it to start again.
Really cool, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Before we continue, I want to give a major thank you to Joel, who edited that whole video. I think he spent like 2 weeks making it, like rushing through it and like, trying to get it done in time. But, can we get a round of applause for Joel,
awesome,
please,
Joel.
for editing all of that?
Thank
It's
you, man.
crazy. Yeah, of course. So, I mean, at the beginning, oh, sorry, yeah?
No, I just want to kind of you.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot to talk about with that opening, but I want to, show other stuff we did. But with that opening, we recorded a lot. I think we had like four hours of footage, probably something like that,
Yeah,
or
around there.
close to that. And we had to pick a lot, and surf through it and figure out what exactly we wanted. I don't think anything got scrapped though, right? I think we pretty much used everything,
Yeah,
like parts, not the full videos, of course, that we took, but
Right.
parts of it.
So before we go ahead, I don't know. I just kind of want to ask. I'm really curious. We talked about it briefly last week. I just kind of want to get everybody in here a little bit more situated with what this game actually is and what the concept of Monarch Vertigo is, and as a product now, what it is, and like without giving too many spoilers, I assume,
Yeah,
but
for
just
sure.
kind of giving a brief sort of kind of render about what the game is about, what the game is like.
So the game is a horror game, and it's like a visual novel kind of thing. So it's like, kind of like a book, but it has a lot of imagery. But it's also kind of like a point and click game too, as he said earlier, interactive. What'd you say?
Yeah, like with interactable. So, like a photo of a bathroom and, you have like a sink and your toothbrush. You can click on those items like in that image and it'll be interactable.
Yeah, and some stuff has like unique dialogue, like the toaster says, "Oh, I love this toast. This toaster, I love how it burns my toast." Like some of that funny little dialogue that games have, like I guess games like Earthbound have. I feel like that adds a lot of charm, even though it is a horror game. I was questioning if we should do that or not, and I think it added a lot of charm to the experience.
That's awesome, man. And did you decide to make this a horror game because of your own influences or because of the music? What was the how does your overall vision and everything tie into the creation of this?
Sorry, I accidentally did that. Horror game, I don't know. I was driving home from ACC one day, and I don't know, I think it was raining, and I was listening to music, like this ambient music, and I was like, wait, I see a vision here, and it was like this guy driving down like the highway getting chased by somebody, and I was like, well, that would be really cool, and then I just tossed it in the back of my brain and was like, oh, okay, I'll come back to this later. And we have a slide on it, but just to touch on it a little bit, we were trying to do a game jam, and a game jam is basically like a competition where you build a game within a month, or it can be longer than a month. It could even be a week. I've done those too. But we had like a whole team of like 8 people, and we were like coming up with ideas, and it was very haphazard. It was like we couldn't come up with something. We couldn't stick to something. There's leadership issues. And so I took Joel and another friend of mine. He lives in Italy. His name's Samuel. And I was like, well, let's just make our own thing. And so we tried to find an artist, and we could not find one at all. Like, we were just looking and looking and looking. I was posting it everywhere, and we just could not find anybody. And so I was like, what are we going to do? And so he started sending like these images from, what was it, Tekken?
Tekken?
Yeah, right? It was like the art, or what, I don't remember what game it was, but it was like these blurred images, and then it reminded me of that idea I came up with for, the driving scene. I was like, we can use that. We can take pictures of real life places, turn them in black and white, because I already knew that game was going to be black and white whenever I came back to it. And that was pretty much how it started. And then we were like, okay, well, when are we going to shoot pictures? When are we going to shoot videos? Like, what do we want an opening? We had all these questions, and that's how it started. Yeah.
Awesome, man. I'll let you
Cool, yeah.
present all these slides now.
Cool. So Team AFTOZOI, why? Context? Come on. Well, it stands for Automated Intelligent Life. In Greek, I don't know. I'm not going to try and read that, but and it's supposed to say AFTOZOI, but it says AFTO. But AFTOZOI Wars is a game that I developed last year while I was still in ACC, and I was like, man, it would be so cool to come back to that and use that as a team name. So that's that, and that's a really cool game too. But I want to focus on this one. So why Monarch Vertigo? I mean, it sounds so cool. I mean, the Monarch case, I don't know why I came up with that. I just thought that sounded cool. You know, I wanted to have a cool case name. So Monarch case was what I came up with. And one of our friends/team members had vertigo. And I was like, hold on, wait, there's something there. We can use that. So it reinforced the game's visual style too, you know, and helped interpret the entity. You have anything to add on to that?
Yeah, you know, kind of like, because I mean, it's kind of, when you have vertigo, you know, you're pretty dizzy. So it can make certain like things blurry. It's kind of hard to make out something. So and throughout the game and like in the opening, you know, you couldn't really tell what was that figure walking or, you know, the masked face. Like, you know, it's supposed to be, you're not be able to tell what it is.
Yeah.
So that's like the antagonist.
No, that's not. So I didn't want to put too much of the antagonist in there. He is in here, but I kind of wanted to put that as a placeholder for the main character. So that is actually, quote unquote, for now, Nolan Reeves, which is the main character of the game. You know, he appears in the opening. I wanted to keep it very mysterious, so, you know, whenever somebody plays a game or, you know, they can envision themselves as that guy, you know, because he's like never shows his face or anything. Next slide. You know, how does, well, I explained that, but, you know, we had a team of like 8 people, and then we came down to 6, and we ended up meeting actually one of our team members, photographer, Sophia, like a week before the game was finished, and I'm so glad I met her because she gave so much feedback and, you know, helped me record a lot of stuff and take a lot of promotional pictures, which are in here. She took that one right there. How we did it. So, you know, we had about 5 weeks, you know, to complete the game, 3 of which, you know, spent taking photos and, you know, writing the story and brainstorming on what we could do. The last 2 weeks were super hectic. You know, we honestly rushed a lot, but I think it kind of, you know, added a lot to the game, weirdly enough, right? Like weirdly, like the music was very bare bones, which I think worked and what I wanted, but I wanted it to be a little bit more complicated. But, you know, it's very simple. It's only like 3 tracks, you know, playing at once. There's not very many instruments or, you know, chord changes. It's pretty much just 1 chord progression per song, you know, maybe 2, but usually it's just a pad. But I do think some songs did suffer, like the chase track, Diablo. I personally don't really like that track. Another one is that One Friend. I don't like that one either. It was supposed to be a talking track that was supposed to sound like Zanzibar, but that did just not work out. And then, you know, obviously as a small team, we had a lot of commitment and we were happy to fulfill it, you know, for the Game Jam event. Our inspirations, man, there's so much to talk about here. You know, I feel like from all of these, you know, we all drew from all of them, honestly. You know, Dead Aim with the sound design, he was heavily inspired. You know, the back rooms, there's one image right there. Not specifically that image, but, you know, that kind of like liminal space kind of feeling, you know, because most areas, you know, in the game don't have people in them. You know, there's only like, what, 4 photos with people?
Max, yeah.
So I wanted to keep it, you know, very like, like where's everybody? You know, like even in the arcade section, there's an arcade section. There's no people. I managed to get photos with no people. And, you know, Silent Hill with the music, you know, Persona 2 kind of has like that murder mystery vibe. Theresia, which is kind of in the middle, right above Persona 2 right there. That was another big inspiration for the game. That was a visual novel feel. And then Silvercase, probably the biggest inspiration, is where I came up with the idea. And then, I don't remember what it's called, but that Android thing that people were creeped out by in the corner right there. Yeah, I used to be terrified of that. Really? Yeah, me too. That's why I put it in there. That's awesome. I remember there was like some story about it where it was like, oh, you know, like there's a serial killer who kills people and then he like makes animatronics of them. And I was like, oh, that's creepy. I can use that to my advantage, you know? And then Jacob's Ladder is another, you know, fantastic movie that we were inspired by. For this game, we weren't really inspired by a whole bunch of movies, but definitely that movie was a huge inspiration for this. You know, there's a scene in it that we just were completely inspired by. It's like all these faces going by in a subway, and we have like a scene where the killer drives by in the car. He's like looking like this, and it's cool. It's really cool. The soundtrack, I think I pretty much explained this. You know, like the track, I'll play that track real quick, but this kind of set the tone for the whole game because it was one of the first ones I wrote. This one right here. So
It's called this track?
this track is called Home, sorry.
Oh, okay.
It's like where Nolan Reeves comes home from work and he's like tired and he's like, oh, okay, well, I gotta cook dinner, like I just got home, I gotta go to bed, I gotta get to work early. Gotta get to work at 5, he has like a really bad job where he has to be there all day from like 5 to 12 and it's like, oh, I hate it. 5 in the morning. And he hates his job kind of, but he also kind of loves it at the same time. It's kind of set the whole tone. He said he really loved it, like whenever I showed it to him. I was like, interesting. I was like, okay, well, let me try and apply this to the rest of those tracks for this game.
Well, this is like the main, like the theme, you would say?
Well, no, I
like
wouldn't say the theme. I would say it's like maybe the theme for Nolan, like being at home. But, every area kind of has its own theme.
So it's like Nolan's theme, you think? The main character's
Kind of.
yeah.
I would kind of say so, This kind of evokes his kind of emotions, Kind of chill, laid back guy, but he doesn't want trouble, It's just,
Well, this track set the vibe for the rest of the game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That too. Yeah, it's just, yeah.
Very cool. And this is on the QR codes, right?
The soundtrack is on the QR codes. We got the link to the game as well. There'll also be one at the end, a QR code.
And is the game free for download?
Yeah, it's free. You can donate to it. We have soundtracks available. We have, a photo album. They'll be signed by, all of us who took the photos. There's a lot of cool stuff on there. We even have like the mask of the Vertigo, Monarch Vertigo on there. We have a couple of other things. I can't think of everything else, but we have like 5 or 6 items on there. We have a sticker collection.
Oh, cool.
We're trying to meet a goal of $500 for this.
Cool.
So, if we meet it, we'll start a Kickstarter. We already have $105 so far on this. So we're doing pretty good so far.
Nice.
Next slide. Oh, maybe because I got to click back over here. Okay, there we go. So these are our favorite shots. I love all of these. See, look, there's the one right there where he's like passing by and you can like barely see him. To the right there, on the very right.
Oh, yeah. These are all unedited, right? Like kind of unedited
yeah,
photos?
some of them are edited and then some of them aren't.
That's really cool. I really get that liminal space.
Yeah,
that
right?
You're talking about.
Yeah, that's what we're really trying to aim for, and honestly, like those, I don't know, like that, there's only one of those up there that's taken, where is that, at a mall? You know the one with the long hallway right there you put in at the top? Yeah, I don't know the story behind that. But.
Yeah, so I had to go run an errand. It was during the last day of game development. So I took my camera with me. I was like, okay, well, I need some more footage, for the opening, and like maybe we need more photos for the game so we can think of like, because we were kind of like going through like what Nolan's going through on the fly. Like, okay, where is he going next? After work, where is he going? So we were in a rush. I took this camera of mine. It was like a small camera. It was like a cyber shot. And this door, I was like, okay, my sister needed to go to like the store. And I was like, okay, I'm going to like go walk around, maybe grab a smoothie or something. And then I noticed the door to like the back room was like open, where like janitors and like technicians, they go, towards the back of the mall. And I was like, oh my gosh, no way. So, I recorded it and took a photo of that long hallway. I thought it like really conveyed the feeling that, it's so long. You can't really tell if there's like doors on the side and like what's at the end of that.
Yeah, it's very industrial kind of
definitely.
photo. Yeah, the other ones that are taken here actually at ACC, well, some of them, not all of them, of course, but like the industrial looking ones with the same kind of vibe. The one with Monarch Vertigo standing in the hallway, it was actually taken ACC. The one over from the hallway picture was taken at ACC. We honestly, like for the architecture and stuff, ACC was, just the building was a huge inspiration for me. I love the architecture here. I know it's a mall, but still I just think it's so cool how ACC looks. And I was like, oh man, it's so cool. So we wanted to use that in the game. And okay, so here's the cast. He's on that. And then the other two are in the crowd right here. So these were like the character shots before they were edited. And then when they go in game after edited, they look like that. So they look kind of creepy, I initially came up with the middle one, and then our artist did the rest of them. And we were trying to go for like a creepy vibe. Like you couldn't really see their eyes, you can't see Mark's eyes in the middle. That's Mark. And I was like, oh, what? Like you can't really tell who he is. And I think that like adds a lot to the feeling of the game, you know, like that liminal kind of feeling.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So are they like characters that you interact with?
Yeah. So you can talk to them. You know, one of them shows up at your door and is like, "Hey, man, let's go hang out." You know,
it's creepy, man.
yeah. He's like knocking on the door, and like Nolan's trying to figure out who it is. Like he looks at the peephole, he can't see. It's supposed to be really weird. Like the one on the left is, in my opinion, the creepiest. Like so creepy.
That's cool.
Yeah. Okay. So this was a sound we were trying to get, and I was like, oh man, I really love the way this sounds. Like I want to use this in one of the songs. And I was like, this sounds so cool. This was recorded. This was a place at ACC. I don't remember how we heard it, but I had never heard this before, something like this. It sounds like a door kind of opening, but it's not. It's so weird, but I'll play that real quick. So we're trying to record it. Yeah, that. We were all laughing because we were trying to get it. Yeah. So this isn't in the song. There it is again.
That little
You hear it?
squeak. That little squeak.
Yeah, I'll
is
play
that
it one more
sound?
time.
That's awesome, dude.
Or maybe not. There we go. I'll play it one more time. So it's like the squeak sound. That's pretty much the whole thing, the whole sample. I took that one too. And then here it is. So that, not this, but the squeak.
That's super cool.
Yeah, right? And then I think I'll play again. That. It's like kind of like the horn in the background. Plays again.
So you just sampled that and like made like kind of horn sounds.
Yeah. I thought it sounded so cool, and I thought it would add a lot to the atmosphere. Oh, okay, now it's playing that again. Okay. What's next for this project?
What is next for this project?
Oh, well, you know, I think even if we don't meet the goal, you know, soon, I think we're going to keep working on it because we just love the idea. You know, the whole team loves working on it. They want to see more. I was actually questioning if we should continue on it, and I was like, oh, well, maybe we should do something else. Like, oh, man, I was just like, I think it's because I was so exhausted from working on it because I had to do the promotional stuff. You know, I did almost everything for promotional stuff except for, you know, the video, opening video. I had to put the soundtrack out when it was finished. I had to post it on social media. I had to post it on all these forums on Discord, like Discord servers, and, you know, push it as hard as I could. You know, set up the itch page where you can download the game. It was a lot. So I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to finish this. And then I thought about it, and I was like, well, you know, with Afterzoe Wars, the one at the start of the presentation, I was like, oh, man, I really wanted to finish that, but we never did. And I was really disappointed because I wanted to finish that, you know, soon. You know, I wanted to put up a Kickstarter and stuff, and then it didn't work out for whatever reason. I don't remember exactly. It might have been school, you know, stuff got in the way. And I thought about, you know, the team that worked on it. You know, we were all passionate about it, and you know, it's kind of sad, you know. But the guy who mainly developed it, you know, and did all the coding and stuff was kind of over it for the time being. But I wanted to continue it. And I thought about this team, and I saw how passionate everybody was, and I wanted to be a good leader, and I was like, we got to finish this, you know, for the team, you know, for everybody, you know, who likes it. You know, I can always come back and, you know, fix stuff too. I thought for some reason like we couldn't fix it or whatever, but then I made the executive decision, you know, let's just go ahead and finish it. You know, why not?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
At what point do you think it will be like
done?
Like, yeah. What do you think?
I mean, we're nowhere near done. I mean, we got to finish writing the story. You know, we got to redo a lot of the pictures, you know, redo a lot of the dialogue because there's a lot of issues with the dialogue. You know, there's one part where our friend from Italy, I love him so much. He's great, but his English sometimes is not the best. So he doesn't know about brushing teeth. So, because his first language is whatever, I don't know what it is, but what it was, but it's obviously not English, and you can hear his accent. He put, it's supposed to be, I brush my teeth and go to bed or something like that. And he put, I need to wash my teeth before. It was kind of funny. Like and it's like, okay, well, I guess we missed it.
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. And I was like, well, I mean, we could keep it. It's kind of creepy, but I kind of want to change it to brush, but I don't know. We might. We'll think about it.
That's cool, man. I think it's a great call to go ahead and just push through.
Yeah, for sure. You know,
see the end, like the end goal with this. Yeah. You realize.
And you know, we really started coming up with ideas for this. You know, we we have a lot we want to add, and you know, like one thing I can say is like a detective agency is one of the things we want to add next. You know, like to give more world building. You know, like there's a guy who's like, hey man, what do you need? Like, you know, like a typical kind of detective guy who like has like a cigar in his mouth. He has like a detective hat on. He's like, hey, what's up? What do you need, Nolan? Or something
That's
like
cool,
that,
man.
you know. Yeah, we got to promote. That's one thing that's been kind of difficult. So I'm like, how the hell do I promote this? Like, oh my gosh, it's so hard. But we'll figure it out. You know, we also want traction as well, you know, which is also kind of hard to get, but we're working on it. You know, how to keep up to date. You know, scan this QR code. We appreciate all the time you've been able to share with us today. You know, we look forward to, you know, finish this project for everybody. You know, if we can meet our goal, that would be amazing, you know, because then we can start, you know, get somebody to edit a professional video for like a trailer, or, you know, buy plugins for RPG Maker plugins, or, you know, stuff that like enhance the game, you know, like add 3D to it. You know, we want to add 3D. That's one of the main things we're talking about right now. You know, maybe I want to pay everybody who's worked on this, you know? So
Yeah.
that would be great if we could meet that. You know, we're really passionate. You know, we're not going to, you know, be like, oh, okay, cool. We'll take your money and just like run away. Because I know some Kickstarters do that. We are not like that at all. You know, this is going fully towards the game and, you know, the people who work on it. So, yeah.
That's really cool.
I don't know if we have much time left, but I'm open for questions for the end.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much for this.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. I want to give a big round of applause to this team, Maximilian X Sound Team, because I mean, what a great project you put together. I think it's really cool to put up together a project for like a deadline-based thing, and it's like, okay, you got something out. It's kind of like a beta version, if anything.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure.
So then it's like, okay, well, we're still we want to finish this because we ended up loving this project so much.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I'm taking it. As
Yeah,
like,
that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
You know, like a beta kind of thing. You know, we're obviously not finished. So.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah,
Max.
of course.
Thank you so much,
Thank
everybody.
you so
for being
much.
Here.
Yeah.
All right. Check out the game. Check out the soundtrack. Check out Max and the sound team. That was Maximilian X Sound Team. Thank you all so much.
Thank you so much.
Cool. Thank you guys.